Welcome back, everybody. This is beautiful Becca, and I'm here with a new video for you of a first project for me. My first ever junk journal. This was a gift for a friend of the family who we celebrated her birthday that very night. And in the end, she loved it. I had use of our big dining room table to spread out a whole bunch of the materials that I had got together for this project. And as you can see the pile before you, and I'll go over each item, starting with the journal. So originally I was going to create a junk journal for a cousin of mine who just had a baby girl, but the fabric didn't come in until the day that I actually finished this project. And in the meantime, I had some errands to run and some appointments. And during my errands, I decided to stop at Joann's and Michael's in Santa Clarita. Michael's did have this craft and ivory journal by Recollections, and it basically is a craft journal with a bunch of white pages and a middle section of special craft paper in between. There's almost no junk journaling artist that does not use anything by Tim Holtz. So I picked up a whole bunch of his ideology ephemera, including butterflies, what you see in the right hand, on the right side, and the tiny clips, the transparent wings, the mini pins. And then the last thing that is not pictured here is the alcohol ink mini applicator tool. It was a small distress permanent mixed media ink palette that came in 4 colors. 1 light brown, 1 dark brown, 1 gray, and 1 black. I used the majority of the brown ink to distress several pages in the journal as I was finishing it. I already have a plethora of several beads and charms, but at Joann's, I just happened to take a look and see if they had any beads that were specifically in blue colors. And there's a bunch of different design companies that have exquisite beads and charms, but I just decided to use these 4, and they're by Hildy and Joe Designs. The last 2 items that I bought with my Michael's haul in Santa Clarita on my way back was the journal and this Washi Crafty Tape by Recollections. This particular tape is a type of linen tape, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to use that to create a signature or to use it as part of the spine. You will see at the end of the video. In the paper craft section, both at Michael's and Joann's, they have their specialty papers, and these could be anywhere from very thick cardstock that is all glitter, or it can be all sequins. But the only ones that have this specific type of paper, Anecdote Artisan Paper, is at Joann's. And so it appears to be like a fabric paper, almost like the Craftex paper, which I was trying to find, but they did not carry it. So I got a whole bunch of these beautiful artisan papers that I only ended up using, I believe, 2 or 3 of them, but they're absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we have, first of all, the washi tape. I wanted to do the spine of the journal first. So looking through the washi tape here, I popped it open and I took out the tape, the types of washi tape one by one. The spine wasn't too wide, but then again, it was not too thin. So luckily, a few of the washi tapes were a little bit wider than most. I looked at this one; it was a little bit too purpley for me. I then chose this beautiful washi tape, this linen washi tape that had more of the dark blues and a black and a gold color all mixed in. So I taped it on the spine of the journal. The problem was the tape kept wanting to peel away. So afterwards, I used the neutral pH adhesive to glue underneath the tape and then pressed it down upon the spine. Of the 5 to 6 artisan papers that I did choose, I wanted to choose one that wasn't too dark and wasn't too light. I love this color combination of this artisan paper here. It has like a beautiful taupe background with gold, white, mid blues, dark blues, and a beautiful teal color all mixed in. It's absolutely splendid. Turning it over, I placed the journal on top and I outlined the journal shape. And then afterwards, I cut out the shape of the journal for the cover. A few years ago, I went to Continental Arts off of Reseda. They were going out of business, so I decided to get as many art materials as I can. The majority of my haul from that store alone had to do with book binding materials, and so they happen to have this glue called neutral pH adhesive, and it is used for mainly for book binding, and I just decided to give it a try for this project. Of course, what happens, like with most bottles, it has a special paper tab before you can open it, and as I did, the bottle slipped out of my hands and a whole bunch of it globbed onto the journal, so I just decided to use the excess of it and spread it as thin as I could across the cover of the journal. So I cut the front cover of the journal with that beautiful artisan paper, and after I had glued down the adhesive on top of the journal, I laid this on top of the front cover surface, and I used a scoring tool. It's basically called a bone scoring tool to flatten it out and to rub out any bubbles that the glue may have raised underneath. Then turning it over, I carefully cut the corners of the excess pages, and then the plan was to fold the outer piece of paper from the front onto the interior, as you can see by the indicated arrows. So the top part was to fold from the top, then the side, and the bottom. It took several tries to get it to stay close, so I would recommend using very heavy clips so that it adheres to the glue underneath. We have a whole stash of different types of ribbon, and the one that is underneath, that beautiful dark blue, I wasn't sure what I was going to use that for, but I knew I had to have it. And instead, I decided to make a makeshift bookmark using a part of this ribbon here. For the interior cover, I chose a different artisan paper. This one has a beautiful dark blue background, and the flowers are more distinctive. You can actually see the gold leaping off of the page. So again, I outlined the journal on the back of the artisan paper, drew it out and cut it out, and then what I did was that I trimmed it down just a little bit so it would fit inside of the interior cover of the journal. This basket here is just one of many of my mother's stashes of ribbons and lace trim, and I had gone through and selected the ones that I wanted for this project. So here we have, on the left side, we have the front cover of the journal, and then on the right side, you see the interior side cover of the journal. The next part that you'll see is the video version of the flip through. So here what we have is the entirety of the journal in its glory. I used that beautiful blue ribbon sash to use as a tie back for the journal because it went from very thin to very thick. So on the cover we have this word love, and there's some jewel stickers on there, including the transparent butterfly wings that I also added some jewel stickers on top of that. The bookmark I made out of that beautiful blue ribbon, and I added a charm that says made with love. And then on the front cover there is an E for her first name because it's Eliana. And most of these pages are all distressed that I used with the distressed alcohol ink. Some of the pages have tags and the transparent butterfly wings in some of the corners as well. Joy and peace. What I didn't like about the adhesive is that it also caused some of the pages to become very wrinkled. There's some of those glitter hearts that I added on some of the pages. But like I said, when it comes to regular paper, unless it's craft paper, you can see that the glue just wrinkled everything underneath. I tried to smooth it out as best I could and not have it so much as a glob. So on these two pages here, this is an added scrapbook paper I used to enforce the page to make it stiffer. There's the double page spread of the butterflies going from right to left. And then I added another one so the pages could become a lot more stiffer, making it easier to write on top. The rest of those pages are mostly distressed, and a few of them are left blank. And then we come to the middle. And this is where I had fun making pockets using the leftovers of the artisan paper. Here's a piece of an ephemera that she can use to write on. And this is where I started gluing on the lace trims. I have yet to learn how to sew lace trim onto a piece of paper. Comfort and cozy are we. That is so cute. This was my favorite pocket here. Part of the ephemera is this papillon tag of butterfly species, and all I did was added a piece of lace on the back. There's one of the charms. On the page on the right, I cut out the shapes on that dark blue artisan paper and used them as an applique. Some more lace trim. This is my favorite lace here. This one I just decided to use, another charm. This one I just decided to use the artisan paper as like a, I guess a flap. That's my favorite glitter heart. This card only had the front left on it. It's a Jewish card. I guess it was for Hanukkah, perhaps. And I just decided to add that in there so she can have more spaces to write on. Making pockets was so much. It wasn't easy, but it was so much fun. Here's another flap that I added the paper plus the lace and a butterfly on top of that. This tag was actually made from a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper. The front is very fabric-like, and that clip there is a teardrop clip. Most of the journal artists that I have watched their videos, have been using those clips. They're just more beautifully aesthetically pleasing to look at rather than a regular paper clip. This one is a three-fold pocket. She can add anything she wants in there. This pocket here, I cut out Chase Your Dreams from one of the scrapbook papers, and then that bookmark is a holographic butterfly. That was my bookmark. I have so many bookmarks and I never know what to do with them, so I just decided to give that to her. She can use it for any one of the books that she reads. There's one of these beautiful floral pieces that I glued on top of that beautiful scrapbook paper. This one was a little bit difficult. I probably should have made the flap a bit wider so it would clip more easily. And I added a butterfly on top of that. I just love those teardrop clips. They're so pretty. Again, these clips, I bought them from Amazon. Another flap. There was no way I was going to leave that beautiful flower to chance. More of the lace trim. Here's where I added that blue ribbon. There's that same tag with that beautiful cover. An applique square on the right hand corner. Top right corner. And then the last pages, my thoughts for today. These are all impromptu prompts that she can use. When I look back, I think how far I've come. I want my family future to be. There's a clue to this. Yeah, time to celebrate. And finally, mommy to-do list, and she can write whatever she wants because she's expecting. And there's the last interior cover and the back cover of the journal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first video of my first junk journal. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more of these art projects, book reviews, and educational resources, and hopefully some more interviews along the way. I'll see you all next time. Take care.